Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Damian. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you. So, I am a theoretical engineer, which means I'm an engineer theoretically. You see, I didn't study engineering at university, so I don't have a degree in it, or a chartered status, or like a certificate saying that I'm competent to, competent. So the thing to remember is that with engineering, the other sort of engineering really is practical people. And the other sort of engineer, they know how to build a go-kart. Maybe they know how to fix a television. Maybe they're allowed to use scissors without supervision. And I am not that sort of engineer either. No. I studied physics at university. And it's weird, spent all those years. At one point, while I was studying, I knew how to calculate the size of a black hole. Now, the only bit that I can remember is that if you get a cup of tea and you put the end of a teaspoon in it and you just give it a little stroke like that, you see what you think are two little separate whirlpools in the surface. But they're not. They're actually connected between them with a vortex, like a smoke ring that's been cut in half. Now, that's not very funny. And it's not very useful. But it is true. And that little bit of knowledge is my gift to all of you. It's not a very good gift. But being knowledge, you can re-gift it. And in fairness, we only just met, so get off my back, right? So after I graduated, I went and took a job at an aerospace company. And there, they trained me up to be an embedded logic engineer. Can I get a woo? Woo! Oh, yeah, that's right. Wasn't that fun? So, the thing that you realise when you take a new job is, whatever you do, it's probably fairly universal. Whatever we do in life, you find that other people, A, don't really understand what we actually do for a living, and B, have no idea that they really don't understand what we do for a living. So, I remember the moment this occurred to me, I realised this, because it was the same time that I realised that I'd learned one of the key skills of being an engineer. I realised I'd sort of arrived. I was at a party, imagine. And I was talking to somebody, and I was telling them about my new job where I was helping to design telecommunications satellites. And they said to me, "Oh, that's really cool. We just had a satellite fitted at home." And instinctively, I knew how to react, just like that. Man, she did not want to go home with me. Things got worse, because I left the satellite company. I went to work where I am now at a company that is involved in industrial inkjet printing. Woo! Thank you. Yeah! Somebody from work must be here. Crap. So doing industrial inkjet printing, and if there's anybody in the room who works with computers, you'll know that people, well, let's be honest, parents, end up wanting your help with stuff. And that's a pain with computers. But it's important to remember it's worse for me because home printers are bastards. Yes, that's a technical term. So, those sort of moments can be quite frustrating for us. Thank you for your patience there. I turned off the Windows startup sound. So those sort of moments can be quite frustrating. But if you ever want to make an engineer happy, top tip, okay, ask them to explain something that they actually do know about. I'll give you an example. I was at work talking with one of the electronics people, and I mean, it's not made of electronics. see. It's not that advanced. So he designs electronics. And he was telling me that he was very pleased. He was designing a new circuit board, and he was going to save cost because he was going to use one big boost power supply and several smaller buck power supplies. And these were all words that I had heard. And I took the opportunity. I thought, right, let's find out, and let's make him happy. So I asked him, and he was very pleased to explain. He said, these power supplies, they're ways of controlling a voltage, and they're quite similar. They're made of the same three components. There's a switch, and there's a diode, and there's an inductor. And depending on how you arrange those three things together in your circuit, it will either go up in voltage, or go down in voltage, or go on fire. That's why he does need a certificate. And those are the details. I like details, it's good to understand them, but I like to understand the big picture. So let's talk for a moment about industry. Let's talk about car manufacture. I mean, not let's, I'm going to do this. So, one thing I learned recently that's amazing to me is that in factories, when they spray paint bits of cars, like wing mirrors, they waste most of the paint. And when I say most, I mean like 90% of the paint gets wasted. Okay? This means that in terms of process engineering, they are actually much, much less efficient than a parent is at getting a chocolate ice cream into a toddler. And we can massively improve this by using industrial inkjet printing technology. The car thing, do not try to print into your toddler's face. So the guys, we're all working away on that, and some very clever techniques to be able to print directly onto 3D objects. And I say we, other people are doing that bit. Me, I've got new things going on. I've recently been promoted. Wait. My boss somehow got the idea that I'd been involved in some of these very clever bits of work. And I didn't correct him. So now part of my job requires me to decide things. Last Friday, 1:57, I was at my desk. One of the directors came over and said that he wanted me to decide stock levels and pricing for a new product. Can I get another woo? Woo! An easily pleased crowd. And so I nodded very seriously, put down my precious cup of cappuccino, took out my special notebook to make a note. I'm allowed in the stationery cupboard without supervision. Glanced at my watch and realised I had to run off for an hour-long meeting. It's the later time. 1 hour later, well, a bit more, 2:09, I'm allowed to use the toilet unsupervised. I got back to my desk, and my inbox had been flooded with emails. Everything had been discussed by other people while I was gone, and between them, they'd made the decisions on these two important topics without me getting involved at all. On the one hand, result, right? But on the other, I'm now a little bit worried that my boss will realise my job could be done more cost-effectively and competently by a slowly cooling cup of coffee. Yeah. It's been a strange journey, all the way from physics to now. And I think I'd like to reflect for a moment. Hopefully the engineer in me won't find this too pretentious or corny or artistic. But there's this vision that sort of came to me, that in many senses, the me of today, running between meetings, trying not to forget about my coffee, and the me of 20 years ago, trying to understand quantum mechanics and triangles and stuff, I suppose, are like two little whirlpools in the teacup of time, connected by a hidden vortex of history. No, it's too much. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm still Damian, I still don't know what I'm doing.